Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the online forum of today. First of all, I would like to thank all the audience for attending the forum for today. Our issue this morning is bullying. Before we start, please allow me to introduce myself and our panels. I'm Sharina, a TV host of Astro. First panel is Dr. Chu Cheng-ying, a clinical psychologist in Hospital Canceller Tuanku, Mohris, UKM. Our second panelist is Miss Carmen Carmen, lecturer of the Faculty of Social Science in UKM. Our third panelist is Dr. Yap Sin, a very experienced counselor of UKM, and our last panelist is Professor Desmond Derjahong, Professor of Psychology, UKM. How are you all doing today?
Like always.
Feeling good.
Doing good.
Okay, thank you. Welcome to our forum. The process of harassing someone through applying force, abusing verbally or non-verbally, threatening and using other means of violence to make someone to do a piece of work is known as bullying. For further detail about this topic, I would like to seek information from the first panel, Dr. Chu Cheng-ying. Do you think bullying is a concern nowadays? How is it considered as a bully?
Thank you to our moderator, Ms. Sharina. Good morning and a very warm welcome to all the audience. Now let's talk about the bullying issues. From my point of view, I believe that bullying is a concern because being bullied can leave you feeling helpless, humiliated, depressed, or even suicidal. Based on the statistic of the Center of Disease Control in 2019, students who experience bullying are at increased risks of depression, anxiety, sleep difficulties, lower academic achievement, and dropping out of schools. Bullying can also be considered as a repeated aggressive behavior that can be physical, verbal, or relational, in person or online. For the first type of bullying, which is physical bullying, it includes hitting, kicking, or pushing you, as well as stealing, hiding, or ruining your things, and harassment or humiliations. The second one, which is verbal bullying, it includes name-calling, teasing, taunting, insulting, or otherwise verbally abusing you. Furthermore, if there is someone who refuses to talk to you, excludes you from the groups or activities, spreads lies or rumors about you, or makes you doing things that you don't want to do, it is known as relationships bullying.
Thank you, Dr. Chu. Since now we have a clearer understanding about what bullying is, I would like to ask the counselor of UKM, Dr. Yap Jasin, why does bullying happen?
Alright, thank you, Miss Serena, and good morning to all of you. In my opinion, some of the main reasons for bullying occurs, including some students with low self-esteem, some students with dominant personalities, peer pressure and the desire to fit in, as well as the ignorance of teachers and staff towards bullying cases. Some children who appear weak, unpopular, and unable to defend themselves may become victims of bullying. They may have physical features that are different from peers, like being overweight and having cognitive disability. These population groups that might be at higher risk for bullying. Besides that, even though the bullies have active social life and are well integrated into the school community, they still want to dominate less popular students to maintain popularity. Moreover, bullies may bully people who are doing better than them on something, for instance, in grades or examination. In addition, the pressure to fit in and please the popular student may influence a child enough to make them bully others. This may increase the likelihood that a child will adopt similar ways of thinking and acting. Furthermore, when teachers and staff consistently use negative feedback, the student may also adopt negative attitudes. The ignorance of them towards bullying cases also aggravate the situation. Moreover, someone who bullies others might have the experience bullying, for instance, maybe by their parents, their abusing step-sibling, or even from someone in their neighborhood. Bullies often lack of empathy as a result of their perception of what's happened to them, and they want to pay that negative forward. There are some examples for factors that will lead to bullying. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yap. Bullying is an everlasting problem in the lives of school kids. However, bullying is not only common in colleges, but also offices and other places. Professor Desmond Terjahong, what are the implications of being bullied? What do the victims of bullying feel?
Thank you, Miss Serena. Good morning to everyone. The implication included having serious difficulties in concentrating and paying attention in class because of bullying and the fear of associate with it. The report finds that bullying is common in school throughout the world, and the bullied students often develop concentration problems and learning difficulties. Bullying is a form of social interaction and that many schools children experience. Basically, among all methods of bullying assessment, self-reports are valued more, where individuals are asked to indicate frequently experienced forms of harassment with a specific time frame, or they are asked to express their subjective feelings of being a victim. Besides, results of multi-level analysis show that academic achievement was negatively related to school bullying and positively related to student-teachers connectedness. In other words, students who reported being bullied or suffer some other form of peer mistreatment show lower academic achievements than their non-bully ones. Students who reported a better rapport with their teachers also show higher academic achievements. Those who are directly or indirectly involved in bullying are at increased risk of misbehavior, abuse from school. Thus, bullying creates barrier to learning with negative outcomes on part of both students and institutions. Students may be bullier and sometimes act as bully according to their situations.
Thank you, Professor Desmond. A person who is bullied regularly or has been bullied before suffers huge mental trauma and physical trauma. Some people lose their mental and physical steadiness due to these bullies. No one deserves to feel worthless. We should stand up for ourselves. Dr. Chiu Cheng-ying, are there any tips for overcoming bullying?
Thank you, Ms. Sharina. The first tips for overcoming bullying is don't blame yourself. No matter what the bully says or does, you should not be ashamed of who you are or what you feel. Also, try to view bullying from a different perspective. The bully loves to have control over your feelings, so that you feel as badly as they do. So please don't give them any satisfaction. Plus, If you are being bullied, it's very important to find someone you trust and talk about what is happening to you. Find a teacher, parent, school counselor, or someone else who can help you and immediately tell them what the bully has been saying or doing to you. If the bullying occurs somewhere else, call the police or get a cops attention if one is nearby. Sometimes bullies stop as soon as a teacher finds out because they are afraid that they will be punished by parents. Regarding the National Center of Educational Statistics in 2019, 46% of bullied students report notifying an adult at school about the incident. The next tip is to learn to manage stress. You should find healthy ways to relieve the stress generated by bullying, so you won't feel overwhelmed by the negative experiences. Exercise, meditations, positive self-talk, muscle relaxations, and also breathing exercise are all good ways to cope with the stress of bullying. In addition, you should also spend time doing things that you enjoy. The more time you spend with activities that bring you pleasure such as sports and hang out with friends who don't participate in bullying, the less significance bullying will have on your life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Chu. Dr. Carmen, could you introduce your research about bullying and the roles of bystanders?
Thank you, Ms. Sharina. A very good morning to all the audience. School bullying has become an exploiting and burgeoning problem, challenging the healthy development of children and adolescents. Many bullying prevention and innovation programs focus on victims and bullies, with bystanders treated as non-existent or irrelevant. Our research suggests that bystanders play pivotal roles in deciding whether the bullying process are dynamic are benign or adversarial. It argues that intrapsychic qualities, namely identity, self-efficacy, and self-determination, greatly influence how bystanders react in school bullying situations. School bullying takes different forms and is often categorized into 4 types: physical bullying, verbal bullying, social exclusion, and extortion. In recent years, advancements in information technology have made cyberbullying a new challenge. Bullies are at risk of becoming increasingly short of compassion and concern for others. Bystanders are often taken as mere passersby, observers, or onlookers, as if they are transparent and immobile. Our research advocates giving due attention to the important role of bystanders in understanding and management of school bullying. Peer bystanders are the biggest group in school bullying. They can decisively influence the intensity and outcome of bullying by assuming different roles. Thurlow Atla have identified several different bystanders roles. Altruistic bystanders might mobilize personal or social resources to help reduce or even stop bullying.
Dr. Carmen, since you said that your research has identified the role of a bystander, could you please explain more about the position taken by the bystanders to the audience?
Sure. Our research have identified several positions taken by the bystanders. The social identity of bystanders is important in encouraging students to take the positive side of bullying. Identity is a constellation of personality characteristics and social style through which one defines oneself and is recognized by others. Some studies suggest that students with low self-esteem may attempt to gain social status in school through bullying others. The defender's high social status might be gained by others' appreciation of their courageous, victim-defending behavior. Additionally, self-efficacy has been shown in both Hong Kong and overseas studies to positively affect pro-social behavior, including bullying defending behavior. Students high in social self-efficacy are likely to try to help victims in bullying situations, whereas students with low level of self-efficacy are more reluctant to intervene and help, regardless of their level of empathic responsiveness. Lastly, people who are self-determined can make choices according to their own thinking and are less likely to submit to outside pressure. Students are more likely to join in bullying if their social network does the same things. In environments where bullies hold the power to determine acceptance or rejection, the risks of speaking up are greater. If students are well equipped with self-determination, they are less likely to succumb to negative peer pressure and school culture.
Thank you, Dr. Carmen. Professor Desmond, do you think is there any other causes of bullying?
In my point of view, there's no single reason which explains why bullying actually happens. Children and adults can be bullies for a number of reasons. Many have been bullied themselves. Sometimes it can be an expression of anger or frustration due to problems they have, such as problems at home or struggling at school or even work. It can be the result of poor upbringing. Some people have not been taught to be sensitive to care about others people's feeling. Or violence games or movies maybe influence some people's behaviors and make them more likely to be bullies. For some, it may be attention-seeking behavior. For example, if they are not getting enough care and attention at home, somewhere else. Others find themselves in a position of power without the skills to use it wisely. In some school and workplace, they actually trying to seek social attentions via loneliness. They actually don't have real friends, so they try to seek attention in any way they can, even if that means hampering someone's mental health or causing them physical health problems. And this way can cause bullying more likely. All schools should be encouraged to establish some kind of peer support systems, possibly with the help of educationists, parents, school psychologists, and other professionals. Teachers, professionals, and concerning authorities should develop a system or regularly monitoring the causes of students frequently absent from school.
Thank you, Professor Desmond. Dr. Yabjasin, may I know how can we identify the victims of bullying surrounding us?
Alright, thank you, Ms. Serena. There are some warning signs to see if your child or someone in your orbit is being bullied. Firstly, he is reluctant to go to the school or outright refuses to go. Secondly, she frequently reports headache, stomachache, or feeling sick, but there appears to be no underlying medical reason. Besides, he has trouble in sleeping and having frequent nightmares. She will also show little interest in hanging out with friends and avoid social situations. He comes home with unexplained injury. She appears to have low self-esteem, shut herself in her room, aggressive, irritable, and are also some of the examples of signs that they are the victims of bullying. In addition, he or she will also report that her books, electronic or some belongings are lost or destroyed. She eats less, sometimes skips her breakfast or dinner. Furthermore, his grades are also declining and seem uninterested in the school. Hence, if parents and teachers notice any of the signs, they need to give attention and take prompt action in order to curb the bullying problem. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yapjasin. Now this forum has come to the end, and I have a few quotes to share with you all. People who love themselves don't hurt other people. Victims of bullying need to know that they are not alone, and we all stand with them. And of course, everyone should know their own rights and policies. At present, Malaysia does not have any laws to take action against online harasses, but given the widespread plague of cyberbullying and the anonymity of the internet, laws to punish cyber bullies are being drafted. However, civil rights and anti-discrimination laws exist to protect groups of individuals who have historically experienced harassment and discriminations like religious minorities, women, and ethnic minorities. Let's stop bullying to create a peaceful community. Thank you all for lending your ears. That's the end of the forum.